Good, happy Thursday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, police release dash cam video of chase through Pelham roads. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
Newscast's priority is not the safety and welfare of the patients at New Hampshire Hospital. For months, we've tried to warn her that they didn't have adequate staffing to take care of those patients. As to the layoff of up to 460 people, if Maggie Hassan knew about it, she's corrupt. If she didn't know about it, she's inept. Maggie Hassan puts politics over people.
Is there anybody else in the car?
A dramatic end to a high-speed chase.
Holy smoke.
People who live in town describe it as normally quiet, but after seeing police dashcam video of this white car whipping down winding streets, swerving into the wrong lane, and flying through red lights and intersections.
I'm really shocked because, it's Pelham. Pelham's a really quiet town usually.
It all started on Route 38 early Wednesday morning. The car speeds by an officer on patrol, and a chase ensues.
The subject that was driving the car was definitely accelerating, driving at a dangerous speed, so my officer slowed down.
The officer loses sight of the car on Mammoth Road near Wyndham, lights and sirens still on. It doesn't take long to catch up with the car.
69 cars, T-Rack, on its route.
Amazingly, the driver crawls out, 22-year-old Justin Sohm from Hudson, but the tension isn't over yet.
Stop! Get on the ground right now! On the ground!
You never know what is going on inside that vehicle. Is someone intoxicated? Is there more than that going on?
Minutes later, the arrest happens. Sohm is charged with aggravated DWI, disobeying a police officer, and reckless operation. Many people in town, like Jamie Nee, who was out driving to work at the time of the chase, say they feel lucky the outcome wasn't different.
I was up going north at that time in the morning, which is crazy. I didn't even know.
That person is definitely lucky they didn't die.
And now Sohm is currently out on bail, but he'll be back in court for an arraignment on October 7th. Live in Pelham, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Recent models, Hurricane Matthew will track well south of New England. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
St. Mary's Bank has been putting New Hampshire families first. As the nation's first credit union, our values haven't changed, but the times have. From mortgages and auto loans to mobile banking solutions, we deliver all the services and technologies you need for the way you live today. We work for the individuals, families, and businesses that make up our membership, not some distant stockholders. We always have and we always will. Bank with the nation's first credit union, St. Mary's Bank.
Recording this for you just after the preliminary 8 a.m. advisory on Hurricane Matthew. As you'll notice in the satellite picture, Matthew, now a Category 3 hurricane with top winds of 125 miles an hour, is continuing to move by Cuba and eventually back out, moving toward the Bahamas. The northward progression of this system has been rather slow, and it's still at around 5 or 10 miles an hour and is expected to continue on its track that the Hurricane Center has been predicting for the last couple of days over the next 48 hours. You notice it holds its strength as a Category 3 hurricane through the Bahamas, tracking it all the way to the east coast of Florida by late Thursday night and early Friday, possibly back to Category 4 strength. This will essentially be right near the east coast of Florida all the way through the morning hours on Friday before lifting northward from there. Now, we remember the forecast yesterday had it moving north along the east coast and then eventually a switch to the northeast. Well, look what the Hurricane Center has now, as most of the maps have been shifting that northeast turn a little bit farther to the south, not getting all the way to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. What has been essentially happening is a cold front that has been making its way through the northern plains doesn't quite link up with the system. It doesn't get far enough north. It's not moving fast enough to get there by later Friday and into Friday evening. So this system looks to slow down as it makes its way offshore of the Carolinas. And as you will notice, several of the maps continue to move it northeast and out to sea. But there are others that not only continue to move it east off the coast of the Carolinas, but then start to send it farther south again because there is nothing to send it northeast. That front long gone by Sunday and into Monday when it is located there. This is something we'll have to keep tabs on because as it eventually tries to go farther south, there could be the potential that it comes back around again, all the while holding the possibility of major hurricane strength. So again, these are the trends that we are seeing with the forecast tracks, and much like yesterday's forecast changed into last evening, there could be some other changes as we go along. What this essentially means for us here in New Hampshire at this point is a front coming through later Saturday evening with a risk of a shower. Otherwise, the holiday weekend, which looks like there could be some rain in the middle of it, looks like fair skies, but just some cooler temperatures for Sunday and Monday. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Oops. Van Osten, Sununu, spare on healthcare, presidential race and debate. Let's take a listen to this video on WMUR News 9.
Is not the safety and welfare of the patients at New Hampshire Hospital. For months, we've tried to warn her that they didn't have adequate staffing. Maggie Hassan puts politics over people.
Very well.
Right out of the gate, the two executive counselors, Republican Chris Sununu and Democrat Colin Van Ostern, were asked if they think their challenger has the experience for the job.
Is he a good businessman, do you think?
As far as I know, he's had one private sector job for 3 years, so I don't know if that qualifies him as a businessman.
Is Councilor Sununu a good businessman?
Well, unfortunately for Waterville Valley, no.
They disagreed on handling mental health background checks for gun buyers, minimum wage, and funding for Planned Parenthood.
This isn't about politics. It's about people's lives. Someone always will be attacking Planned Parenthood or a woman's right to choose. We need a governor who knows to stand up for women and women's health 100% of the time.
I've made the tough votes, and I throw politics aside. If anybody has thrown politics aside on this issue, it's myself, standing up against those political wins.
They focused on education funding and if the formula should be decided by the courts or legislature.
I'm amazed that Chris won't just say that he won't cut school funding in New Hampshire.
This is not about cutting school funding.
Would you cut funding for our schools?
No, it's not about cutting funding for schools. It's about making sure the legislature...
If you're going to pass the buck to the legislature, that's allowing them to do it.
The legislature is the people.
And Van Ostern challenged Sununu for endorsing Donald Trump with a swift response.
He is a dangerous threat to our country, and I think that politicians who put their own political ambitions ahead of just being honest with us about that, it calls your judgment into question.
Are you saying Bill and Hillary Clinton are good role models for kids?
Oh, what did the two candidates for governor agree on? Both said no sales tax, no income tax for New Hampshire. Live in the studio, Jean Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Alleged meth manufacturer arrested after investigation. A local man was arrested last night after a multi-agency effort into finding out who had been cooking methamphetamine at a local pond during the past few weeks, according to police. Derek Winters, 36, of Manchester, was arrested on October 4th, 2016, on 2 counts of manufacturing methamphetamine, driving while a habitual offender, driving without giving proof, operating after suspension, subsequent offenses, and operating an under-registered vehicle. According to police, the Drug Enforcement Administration Clamperston Lab Enforcement Team, along with officers from Goffstown and Dunbarton, arrested Winters after investigating posts of meth and other drug paraphernalia found at Purgatory Pond on 2 different occasions in September. Last night, police found Winters at the pond's boat launch, allegedly cooking up a pot of meth. Police, according to Sergeant Chris Ramillard of Dunbarton Police Department, also allegedly found in his vehicle significant amount of additional evidence linked to methamphetamine manufacturing. In a statement, Ramillard added, "The investigation is going on, and additional charges will likely be filed." Winters refused bail and was transported to Merrimack County House of Corrections. He was arraigned today and held on $5,000 cash bail. Winters has a probable cause hearing scheduled for November. Nearly 2 million under investigation in U.S. ahead of Hurricane Matthews. 16 killed in Caribbean. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
The visitors, rabbits, and Jim like that about Trivago, and so should you. Hotel Trivago.
You know, we put a plan in place about a week ago. We've got our outdoors secured. Right now we're checking in our last bunch of guests who will be staying with us. We're getting ready. 5 o'clock, we're all hands on, and we're ready. We're ready for the storm.
You've been here for a long time. In terms of storms, this is a big one.
Listen, every storm is different. Every storm is serious. This one is a big one. This one's coming. Going to pick up some steam as it gets over the ocean. So yeah, we don't take any storm lightly, and this one we're taking very seriously. We've consolidated we have 6 different towers. Everybody's consolidated into our main hotel area. So we have all of our guests, and we have a number of local Bahamians who have been evacuated from where they live, staying with us as well. We're extremely sensitive to our local community and the Bahamian population. So we're doing what we can to protect everybody, as many people as we can. And our biggest concern, you do have hurricane trackers and followers. We don't want people wandering outside and looking out the windows. Stay away from glass, stay in the secure areas. So we have people in the ballroom, and we'll be feeding that.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Markets continuing down to big jobs Friday. Oil price and corporate news could hold market force Thursday in the final day before Friday's highlight anticipated jobs report. Trump accuses a split between Fox hosts Megyn Kelly and Sean Hannity. Let's take a listen to this video from CNN.
One of the reasons I'm supporting Donald Trump this year is, number one, he's going to put originalists on the Supreme Court, people that believe in fidelity to the Constitution, separation of powers, co-equal branches of government.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday and see you back here later on today. Goodbye, everyone.